He's trying to condense this into 20 minutes. What do destinations have to do in terms of technical refreshment, let's say. Please welcome Professor Dimitrios Bouhalis. Thanks for being here.
Hello. Yes, we've got microphone. Thank you very much. Great to be here and fantastic to see so many good friends and to talk about destinations and smart destinations and how things can change and how they are changing. If anybody tells you that we know what's happening, they're lying. Okay, everything is changing so fast and we've got a huge range of challenges that's emerging forward. Can I see slides there? So Dirk was kind enough to mention my books. Quite often when I'm going to a place, people are saying, Professor, can I buy technology from somewhere? And they always talk about smartness like there's something that they're going to buy off the shelf. I'll take the system, I'll implement it. And I always say that it needs to be much more complicated, and everything in my life is very complicated, but it's all of those books and all this knowledge that's coming to smartness, because smartness is not about technology. And the Encyclopedia of Tourism Management and Marketing that we did during COVID has got more than 2 million words in there and brings all the knowledge of tourism together. And all of these things is synthesized in this slide. And what you find on this slide is that on top you've got the tourism system, where you've got inputs from the resources, you've got outputs in terms of the value co-creation, and you've got a lot of processes that are happening in the tourism system. But then the pyramid that came as part of the synthesis has got the planning, management, and strategy. It has got the market forces. It has got the exogenous variables. And oh my God, do we have exogenous variables in tourism? Do we see what's happening right now? And how everything is changing. And then the red thing is the technologies and the infrastructure. And the technology and the infrastructure provide the platforms and provide all the different tools that we need to use in order to manage the system. So when we are talking about smart tourism, when we're talking about technology, we need to understand the entire system because everything works together. You cannot fix one thing and not fix the other, right? You need to do a whole range of things. Now, our customers are changing. If you were coming to Berlin some years ago, you would have started with a Lonely Planet. You would have read about Berlin. You would have had a map. How many people have got a map in their pocket? Paper map. I still carry one. Out of nostalgia, I love paper maps. But most of you have got one of these, have got a mobile with a lot of applications, and you're doing a lot of those things. So we're increasingly going towards technology-driven tourism, which is based on individualization, personalization, and contextualization, and real-time and nowness. I've been saying that for 10 years, but you have never seen more real-time and nowness than now. Because now you've got all these unpredicted events that are happening, and you need to understand who is flying from where. So my friends, I'm working with Oman right now, so my friends send me a message, say there's a flight going out of Oman tomorrow. If anybody is in Dubai, and I've got a couple of friends who are stuck in Dubai, tell them to go to Oman and they'll fly tomorrow. All that networked, all that real time, all of these things. So going forward, you've got these major trends that they keep me awake at night. Ambient intelligence, smart cities and smart tourism, artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, robots, bots, autonomous devices and drones, and hybrid living and metaverse. These are the things that they're going to influence destinations in the future. And these are the things that they are changing everything we do in tourism. And you've seen nothing. I'll come back to that. Smartness is not about technology. It's about optimization of networks. It's about interoperability and interconnectivity of different things. Please take pictures of that because I give you all the reference so you can read the papers later, right? I don't have the time to expand on that. But smartness is really based on networks and it's really based on big data. You cannot do smartness unless you've got the data, unless you've got the capability to analyze the data, and unless you've got networked the entire destination to operate as an ecosystem of co-creation of value. So those things are really critical. So you cannot buy it from the shelf. You really need to develop it. To develop it, you need big data. And the big data are happening from a whole range of different things, and somehow we need to systematize where the data is coming from. And if you're CIA, you're looking to data from traffic lights, and you're looking from data from all kinds of different things, right? And antennas left, right, and center. So it's really about optimizing the data from wherever the data is coming from towards making a destination smart. There's a word missing there. What makes a tourism destination smart? That could have been your test on your way out, right? Because the professor will need to give you an exam. It's really about bringing together the technology, the people, and the knowledge, and the leadership. Smartness and technology is about leadership. It's how do you implement these things, and how do you manage those things to come together? Okay, it's really about how do you bring economic actors, social actors, and technological actors to work together towards co-creating value within the ecosystem. And once you've done that, then you're looking to smart innovations, and you're looking to smart tourism. So buying technology, and there are several countries and several regions who are doing that, does not buy you smartness. In the same way that if you've got the latest technology car, if you don't know how to drive it, the only thing you can play is the radio. Actually, I'm still struggling to play the radio on my car because it's quite complicated to actually find it. So it's the expertise and the network that drive things forward. And now as we were about to say, okay, we are mastering smartness, this crazy thing, artificial intelligence coming in, and everything changes. I keep hearing about AI from a lot of people that have absolutely no idea what AI means. Okay. My students are writing essays about AI like it's information technology. You can take out of information technology, they put AI, but if you take AI out, it's really about information technology. For me, it feels like 97. Do you remember 97? Some of you were not born in 97, right? But at that time, the internet was coming, and you had people like Wired say, oh my God, this is a new thing, revolution, incredible, amazing, right? And then you had the other guys that are saying, yeah, it's a passing fad and millions will give up. It's exactly the same situation. Now, let's go back a little bit to the basics, and I don't have a lot of time to explain the basics, but basically, artificial intelligence is machine that thinks, acts, learns, and adapts. So the machine thinks and acts autonomously. So far, technology has been helping us to make decisions. This is not helping us to make decisions. It makes decisions for us. And it does that through a whole range of things, mainly through machine learning, because it learns from the processes and learns from the prototypes. It's looking to a whole range of different relations between big data to actually learn and act. A lot of people are talking about AI because of ChatGPT and generative AI, but it's much more complex than that and much more complicated. This is the Gartner hypercircle of artificial intelligence, and you can see that generative AI is going through the trough of disillusionment, where a lot of people are saying, yeah, but does it do it, does it not do it? While a lot of other things, like quantum AI, is coming up at the next stage, which will make it much more complicated. So traditional AI is based on rules. I've learned, I've read, I've looked at the rules, while agentic AI is much more about perceiving environments, about reasoning. It's really about cognitive development in a very similar way like a human being. So where we're going? Has anybody heard about Kalamata here? Do you know where Kalamata is? Anybody knows where Kalamata is? Thank you very much. A few people, okay, wonderful. Has anybody eaten Kalamata olives? Now you know where it is, right? Okay, wonderful. So my parents were born there, so I'm helping Kalamata to support. It's a wonderful place. Go there. This is the Bukhalis Palace. We're trying to sell it. Very good price. Anybody who is a little bit romantic and they like an old place. But when you are looking for Kalamata on Google, what happens? Google says, I know nothing. But I know the people who know. Let me give you a few links. Right? So AI is going in a very different way and says, actually, I've read all the links and I'll give you the answer that you want. And the more you start looking into more things like, what do I do in Kalamata with kids? What about if I'm in a wheelchair? Then all this information is going forward. I'm going to go very fast forward because the time is running and hopefully we'll have a couple of questions. The other big thing that's coming up is not text, but images. And I think that's a huge opportunity. Now, I ask AI what they know about me. Ta-da! And I said, this is kind of boring. What would I like to do? And came up with this picture. Ta-da-da! Okay. But more seriously, when you go somewhere, quite often we're just showing ruins. This is Poseidon Temple in Sunio in Athens. And then you're based on a guide who is keep telling you about different things. But this is what AI, based on cultural, AI reconstruction of cultural heritage will look like. It's going to tell you a whole range of things. It's going to make it interactive. It will show you all kinds of things, and it will make it much more understandable. And if you bring it on a metaverse kind of environment, you'll actually live the experience before you actually see what is there to see. So you'll have situations like that. You'll understand much more of what was happening at that place. So we're doing a lot of research on AI in Bournemouth University right now. So I think the things I would like you to remember is that it's going to change the guest experience totally. And those of you who are working with guests on the front line, you'll have to re-engineer everything that you do. The second thing that's going to change dramatically is the intermediation and the distribution, because that will have to change. And then at the back of that, you are changing all the processes that are going with that. All change, all change. You have seen nothing. So travelers will be able to have effectively a concierge constantly with them, customizing, contextualizing their experience within the particular time. So if you've got a couple of hours today between leaving the ITB and going for dinner, it will say, hey, I know that you have been in these places, but you may like to go to this place, and actually there's a concert at 5 o'clock that you may like to do. From us, from the industry point of view, a whole range of new things are going to happen in terms of how we are supporting guests, how we are producing tourism and hospitality, and how do we communicate with all the entire ecosystem. And that keeps me awake, and my PhD students are looking into a lot of things like that. But I think the important thing is that you have seen nothing yet, and the best is yet to come. I have to say that I'm a positive person, and I'm quite optimist. I can turn around and tell you the negative stories, but I'm not going to do that, okay? The internet transformed access to information. Artificial intelligence will transform everything. Remember, Bukhalis 2026 said artificial intelligence will change your job, the way that we're doing things, absolutely everything. Because it will bring the decision making, it will automate the decision making. So you are not going to be asked to do things, it's going to do it with you. What's the most interesting thing is that so far we have a human-to-human situation. If I'm negotiating contracts with a hotel, I'm negotiating with a hotelier, I'm negotiating with a tour operator. Increasingly, when we're talking about AI, we're talking about human to machine. right? And everybody is panicking on this. I don't panic with this. I panic with this. When machine to machine works together, and they are having conversations in milliseconds. Now, of course, we're tourism, we are all nice, we're looking after customers. But if you see that in a medical situation, or if you see that in a military situation, who is killing whom, when, how, who decides what, it's really quite complicated. Okay, let me go away from that scary moment. We are modeling hotels and all the processes and how their ecosystem works. This is not new. I've been doing that for 20, 30 years. And we're looking at who has got the relationship with whom and how AI is going to change that relationship. And then we're looking into the whole ecosystem, how the box, which may be a hotel, is operating with guests, it's operating with external sensors, with big data on the cloud, all of these things, and how decision-making is happening currently. So for those of you who are hoteliers, and especially if you're in Dubai or wherever, you had to change pricing, you had to change a whole range of things very quickly. And you were looking for information. So this thing is going to have the information, it's going to do it instantly for you. And then we're looking into two things. One is the pyramids about customer centricity and personalization. And here's the smart destination regional development. It's how do you integrate the network to manage that in the best possible way. So this is something we've done about metaverse, which is the customer going through the before trip, during the trip, and after the trip. And then the integration of the entire ecosystem where you've got the tourism industry on top, and then you've got the community and the peers and all the different people that are influencing that. All change, you've seen nothing. All the relations and everything is going to change, and we're going to a situation where we've got machine to machine. And machine to machine will be much more complex. If you really want to see what's happening, keep looking at all the robots and all the technology that's coming out of Shenzhen. Shenzhen in China, for me right now, it's the epicenter of technological development. Not even Hangzhou, Shenzhen. Keep looking at Shenzhen. I'll stop here. So we'll probably have the opportunity to have a conversation. And I've proven that I can do it in 19 minutes. Thank you so much.
Dimitrios, it's your applause indeed, and you nailed it down, and I need a micro, thank you. So you really nailed it down in 20 minutes, and I think you really show this gap between the complexity and the technology backbone and the easiness and the smartness of new AI interfaces. So the world is changing, and we have mainly DMOs here, I guess. Hopefully, let's see. We don't know, but if you have one or two hot advices for an average DMO, we all know we don't have any average DMO, but usually they're looking for strategy. They're trying to optimize their data streams. They try to find new roles in marketing. One or two hot advices. What should they do next?
Collaborate. Bring the ecosystem together. It's not about technology. It's about bringing the ecosystem together. If I had time, I'll tell you about the destinations I'm working with and what we've done and how we integrate things. The second thing is about understanding who is doing what and mapping the ecosystem. The third thing is big data, is where the data is, clean the data and the process of the data. And the fourth thing is develop the decision-making, automate the decision-making, and understand what's the barriers. And of course, there's legislation that comes with that. There's a whole range of other things that are legal stuff. But the most important thing is to understand who is doing what, who are the players, who will be responsible for what is happening. And then with the big data, how do you manage this thing? And once you've done that, then you can be smart. Once you've done that, AI is going to come and help you. Until you've done that, you're just throwing money on technology without getting results.
And I give another advice, as you always should do when you have a professor, read the links Dimitrios offered, available on YouTube, on ITB.com, so you can read it, you can see it. Lots to read, lots to do. Thank you so much, Dimitrios Bouhalis.
Dankeschön.